What's going on, college football fans? I'm your humble host, Jerome Jones, and this is the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Ray Roberts. Show him the shirt, man. Show him the shirt. The man, the myth, the legend, Ray Roberts. What's going on, guys? It's the RPO College Football Podcast, your favorite college football podcast, and we're here because we had an epic, I'll say an epic week one, right? Overall thoughts on how week one went for you? I thought it was great. I don't know, maybe you might think something different. It was a great
No,
week.
I was great except for the second half of the Notre Dame game against Ohio State. Everything else was
Yeah,
pretty good. Like
yeah. Understandable. That's your team, and I, I I was watching the game too, Ray. We both were watching it, and we were just like, why couldn't Notre Dame just score, man? It had plenty of opportunity to score. It was up. It is what it is. Congratulations, Ohio State fans. You won that game. We'll see
yeah,
how you do.
congratulations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Notre Dame set back college football offensively 20 years, but yeah.
But man, let's get right into it because we got a lot to talk about, man. And let's start off with the last game that we just watched, the Clemson game. Clemson versus Georgia Tech. Is Clemson in trouble? They were struggling in the first half, Ray. What's your overall thought of how that game went? Because Georgia Tech, don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to crap on Georgia Tech, but Georgia Tech is not a highly talented team. Let's just say it like that. So how would they fare against other teams, right? I mean, like I said, first half they were struggling. Defense was still kind of doing their thing. They was leaking a little bit, but defense, like I said before the season started, defense definitely did well, especially in the second half. Offense started get rolling, but I want to know what's your overall take on Clemson and how they performed on Monday.
I think their defense played okay. I think Georgia Tech's defense played well. I
Hmm.
think that Clemson's just a better, more athletic team, so they won the game in the end. But really, it was much closer than I thought it was going to be honest with you, especially in the first half. So.
Yeah, in the first half it was 10-14 at one point,
It
and you're
was
just
it was
like,
I like the quarterback,
mhm.
um, DJ, but I do worry about them trying to do things that he's not great at. I don't
Yeah.
understand the need to run him as much. He ran the ball 13 times for 19 yards. Why?
Ooh, I didn't realize he ran that many times.
13 times for 19 yards. Again,
Yes.
why? Like I
Yeah.
don't mind the running down near the goal line. I mean, because then you could run, you could fake it, and then he's wide open. He just walks into the end zone. But like
Mhm.
he's not like I'm gonna say something that's gonna really sound really stupid right now, but I'm going to say it to Clemson because I'm not sure if they were. He's not Trevor Lawrence.
Nah, he's not.
I mean,
I mean,
I'm not even saying that he's not a good quarterback because I do think there's some potential there,
yeah, there's yeah.
some upside to his game, but he's not Trevor Lawrence, and apparently they have not figured that out yet. So.
No, and the thing about it too is just like, and this is kind of what I'm feeling with the Michigan. And I'm kind of I'm gonna get into that a little bit too, Ray. But he got a guy behind him that looks really, really good. Although he's a true freshman, Kay Klubnik, a guy that we interviewed multiple times, a guy that we've been, you know, watching his career in high school, coming up to the college level, getting 40 pounds heavier. Let's add that in there. And he looked good. I mean, against that defense, the same defense that DJ was struggling against in the first quarter. It makes it make you wonder: is it worth putting in the kid early, or still trying to get whatever you can out of DJ? Because it's the same. I had the same issue with McNamara and JJ McCaffrey. It was the same thing where JJ looked really well and comfortable and looked like he's been in the game before, and yeah, he has been. But Klubnik looks just as comfortable. Would is it what would you do, right, if you was that coach and you seen how Monday kind of transpired? Because Clemson got high hopes. You want to wait later or you want to wait now? You want to go now?
I would stay with DJ for now because I think once you make that change, you got to make sure that is the change. You know, what I mean, I don't want to get into a revolving door type thing in quarterback. Correct. I think both kids have talent for sure.
Yeah,
but I think that really the problem is more along the offensive line. Clemson's offensive line has not been good. It wasn't that great when Trevor Lawrence was there, but he made it look good because he was so good.
And Ray, I think that might be the problem too because DJ needs more time to process.
Correct.
Klubnik looked like he was fine back there. He was getting the ball out really fast. He had a strong arm. He'd been doing this in high school too, where he's just very decisive. And if he needs to run, he can run too. So it's like,
I'm not a fan of forcing the running quarterback.
Yeah, no, I hear you. And I wouldn't classify Klubnik as a running quarterback. He's like Trevor Lawrence in the sense of pass first, run second. So
the thing about Trevor Lawrence was he was athletic enough where he can make guys miss in the open field. Yeah. These guys are not. So, again, the problem is the offensive line, really, more than anything else. The offensive line has been a problem. It's going to be because, to me, if you get the most out of DJ, that means you're running the ball and you're taking. I told you this before, taking shots downfield. That is his game. They keep acting like he's better than that, and maybe he isn't. But your defense is good, so try to run the ball. Try to run the football, and then DJ will be fine because then you can take shots downfield. I like both quarterbacks. I do think they're both good players. But if you don't block up front, it doesn't matter who the quarterback is. And you don't have Trevor Lawrence, and so these guys can't hide your deficiencies on the offensive line the way
the problem when you say that too is, Ray, is that you give these guys your top two running backs have a total of 18 carries.
Right. Well, because your quarterback ran the ball 13 times.
Yeah. So it's like, if you're gonna actually run the ball, because Shipley's pretty good. He averaged 4.2 yards per carry. So
he did fine. I mean, 4.2 for a college running back is not great though.
User says DJ might be transferring after this year. I'm pretty sure that's Remy again. Thanks for getting on. Maybe. I think he will have 1 year left on eligibility. It might be a possibility.
I would like to see him play in an offense where they do have a good offensive line and see what he could do. I would. But I don't know. I think Clemson is a good team. They're athletic. They have an excellent defense. And they're going to win games. They're not going to win a national title. That's not going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to watch.
They have three teams right now that are all better than them. And you know what? When it's all said and done, and this is me hoping that Notre Dame is better, but I don't know that right now. We'll find out. But I know Ohio State's better. I know Alabama's better. And I know Georgia's better. So you can think what you want about it. But right now, they're no better than fourth. So,
yeah. Definitely. All right, let's move on to some other games real quick. Let's get into the Ohio State Notre Dame game because we were just talking about it. Notre Dame looked good in the first half. They just couldn't score, but defensively they was holding Ohio State out. They did lose their number one wide receiver in Jackson Smith. I keep forgetting how to say his full name. Yeah. Ray, I'm gonna let you start off with this because I know this game is close to your heart, and I know you was watching this game very closely. What's some of your takeaways from this one?
Notre Dame's offensive line was not very good. Their interior of their offensive line was bad. They missed Jared Peterson. We'll see what happens there. But they were just really they were manhandled up front along the offensive line, and it's that simple. They did all right in the first half. Their defense played really well. Their offense was not great in the first half, but they did enough to have a lead. In the second half, you saw Ohio State basically establish the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball, basically.
Yeah, I agree with that. Right. Ohio State, they came out with a game plan. It didn't work out. They lost their wide receiver. They made adjustments at the end, and it only just like Clemson. Even though Clemson struggled in the beginning, they still have really good talent, still have good coaches, so they're gonna bounce back. It's just the fact that you need to keep the pedal to the ground when you're playing these type of teams because they had the capability of coming back. So
I mean, I like Tyler Buckner, Notre Dame's quarterback. I think he's an athletic kid. I think he's a tough kid. It seemed like they didn't trust him too much, to be honest with you. And part of that may be because the offensive line
what's
didn't play.
going on, Don?
Hey, no, Don. It may be because the offensive line did not play very well. But honestly, Jerome, we were texting back and forth. 3rd and 18. I mean, 2nd and 18. You run a up the middle, like on a little toss type thing.
Yeah.
And then the second one, it's 3rd and 18. You run a quarterback draw.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that was where I'm like, they're not going to win this game.
Yeah. Well, they didn't lose by 17 or more, so that's good. Ray promised he
Yeah, well, I'm tired of moral victories, though, man. Like I hear this all the time. Well, they didn't lose by as much as we thought they were going to lose by.
No.
That's great.
Hey, and look, if you look at the replay from last week's podcast, me and Ray both said that Ohio State's going to win. We didn't like that line, that 17 line, because I thought that was ridiculous. But hey, I mean, it was they gave y'all some trouble in the beginning, made y'all nervous. I know y'all was nervous a little bit. So, but hey,
defense played well, but they played. They were like Isaiah Foskey was invisible in the game, and that really annoyed me. He didn't do anything. The defensive line did not play well. I mean, they played over. They did enough to keep them in the game in the first half, but then after a while, it seemed like their defense got a little bit tired. Ohio State again started running the ball and doing a good job running the ball. So, I mean, I'm not going to take anything away from Ohio State, and I'm not but I don't want to hear Notre Dame kept it close. If you're in the game to keep it close, then don't even bother. I mean, I mean, I listen to a lot of Dolphins content. I'm sorry, Notre Dame content, which everybody knows, but it's like, oh well, we didn't lose by that as much as people thought. Well, I'm in the game to win it. I'm not in the game to keep it close.
No, I heard that.
I mean, I'm tired of moral victories. I want victories. I don't want, moral victories. I want victories. And then honestly, I really thought it really seemed like Brian Kelly was still coaching the team, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really did. It was like, we don't trust the quarterback.
It didn't feel nothing different, honestly. It
really didn't. I mean, except for Notre Dame's secondary played fairly well.
They did.
We talked about their corners needed to play well, and they did pretty well. Mm-hmm. The one couple big plays they had were basically on blown coverages more than anything else. And I think they had the one touchdown, the little deep post where both safeties came up near the line of scrimmage. I don't think that was supposed to happen.
No, there were something really bad in the secondary at that point because I think I texted you after that play. I was just like, Ray, what's going on with your secondary? Like, it was pretty bad. So
I think that corner thought he had safety help and he didn't.
Yeah,
I really did. I think he thought he had inside help and he didn't. So it made.
And once that happened, that blew the whole game open.
That was it. I mean, once that, then. Again, Notre Dame was running their defense was out there way too much in the second half, and you could see it at the line of scrimmage that was a problem. So
definitely. Speaking of your old coach, we're gonna talk about the LSU versus Florida State game. I mean, wow, Ray, what else can I say about that game? That had to be literally the game of the week. Probably should have left that for last, but I would say that was the game of the week because Florida State looked like they was about to run away with it, and one fumble near the goal line later, and then it became a game. FSU got bailed out by not one but two blocked field goals, and they had two muff pumps that helped them. What can you take away from this game, Ray?
That Brian Kelly doesn't change. A leopard doesn't change its spots, as they say. Brian Kelly is a good football coach. I'm not going to sit here and say he's not. But LSU fans who thought that he was going to go there and make a real difference, and I know people are saying, well, he needs time to build to get his players in there, and I don't disagree with that. But even when Brian Kelly is not good in big games, it's that simple.
Yeah.
He's just not. He doesn't coach well in big games.
Yeah. Both teams didn't run the ball that much. It was a lot of defense though in this game.
It was. Florida State only had 132 yards rushing, which tells you they didn't run the ball nearly well enough. LSU offense, the numbers look okay, but the first half they really didn't play well. They played very inconsistent in the first half. Again, anybody who thinks that Brian Kelly's going to go at LSU and be this juggernaut, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think that. I mean, I had I heard a podcast the other day where people were all like talking about both teams, and yes, Brian Kelly is going to need time, or anybody who would go in there and coach LSU right now should need time to compete in the SEC. He shouldn't need time to beat a mediocre ACC team, though. He shouldn't. That's a game they should have won. Yeah. They're at home. I mean, people say, well, Notre Dame lost, and they did, but at least they were in Ohio State.
Yeah.
LSU was at home and played like crap for like 3 quarters.
No, yeah, and like I said, it looked like Florida State was supposed to run away with that game, and Florida State was trying to give them the game too. It was just crazy. It was cool. It was a fun, ending for a fan, but I mean, it wasn't a good game to be honest. And I don't know how I feel about these teams yet.
No, I mean it's week 1. I mean, I like Notre Dame plays Marshall this week. We'll see how they do. I'm not sure who LSU plays this week. To be honest with you, Florida State, we'll see. I mean, we've talked many times, Jerome, about how they don't play like Florida State anymore.
They play Southern University.
Ooh, that is a sneaky game for LSU, man. That is a sneaky game.
Yeah.
Ooh, I can't wait for that one. Can't wait. I mean, for people that think it would be petty for me to root against Brian Kelly, it's okay. I can be petty. I'm good with that.
Yeah, definitely. All right, let's move on to the next one, Ray. We'll kind of move a little faster on these because you're behind on time a little bit. So let's do but I don't want to talk about it. Utah versus Florida. I mean, every time, Ray. Why? Why is this a thing, Ray? I'm trying not to like. I don't want to do the whole thing where I'm just like, oh yeah, let me pick the team because I'm cursing them. But at the same time, I feel like I'm cursing them.
What would you during our draft the other night, man? I was serious, Jerome. From now on, you pick Utah, and I'm going to go the other way. Okay, man. You pick who you want to pick, and I'm just going to pick against you. That's all. I mean, no, man. You're not. I don't think anybody. We can't jinx teams, dude. We're not on the field. We're not capable of doing that. But yeah, man. Anthony Richardson played really well for Florida, and maybe he is the real deal. I don't believe these people that tell me he's a first-round talent yet. We'll see how that goes. But
yeah, he still needs some.
Very athletic, and he's definitely a good player. So we'll see how it goes.
He definitely needs to still improve with his throwing. But that game was, it was a really good game. I couldn't watch the whole thing. I wish I did. But the fact that Utah still could have won. All right, Utah was up real big. I'm trying to look at the line now. I'm trying to find the game myself. Utah was up real big at one point. I think starting in the fourth quarter, there was up 20. Yeah, there
Give
was
me
up
1
20,
minute, Jerome. I can blow my.
26-14. 26-14, it was up. And they allowed Florida to come back because they missed two-point conversions. So that's what happened with that game.
Well, I'll be honest with you, Jerome. I was surprised by one thing. Utah's defense did not play well.
It didn't.
You give up 280 yards rushing and 4 touchdowns on the ground. Your defense is not playing well. So
Yeah. I mean, it's going to be interesting. I mean, we talked about the impact that Devin Lloyd had on that team, but it can't be just one guy to just make you look that bad on a run.
No, they were over pursuing, and Florida was using that against them. That they were over pursuing. They were over pursuing them.
Yes, especially when you have a quarterback that can move the way he does.
Correct.
You have to stay disciplined, and that they wasn't.
Yes, so. Without a doubt. I mean, I was surprised by that, how badly Utah's defense played. That was the one thing that really surprised me. So.
Yeah, but I mean, looking at it too, if you really think about it, Ray, is that they didn't. It like Utah. I feel like just over. I think they estimated Richardson because he looked phenomenal, you know. And
I think they weren't expecting them to go out there and dominate the line of scrimmage the way they did.
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm that surprised. I think that Montreal Johnson is a good player for Florida, running back, and Anthony Richardson. I mean, average almost 10 yards a carry. I mean, when you give up them types of yards on the ground, you're probably not going to win.
Yeah.
And we know that Utah's Cameron Rising is a nice college player, but he can't do nothing if he's not on the field. So
no, I agree, man. And it's unfortunate they lost. I'm hoping they do better this week. I'm not sure who they play, honestly, but let me see real quick. Let me check. They play Southern Utah, so they should win that one, but still.
Yeah.
Just a little game to get their confidence back, I guess, and see them, do better. But they should have and could have won that game still. So All right, next game. Let's get to it. This was a wild game, and I will admit I haven't seen a single ounce of this game. I've seen most of the highlights and most of the, commentary after the game. The Appalachian State versus North Carolina game. I mean, that game was crazy, right? Appalachian State coming back in, putting up 40 points in the fourth quarter just to lose by 2. Ugh.
That was probably the most fun game of the weekend, to be honest with you. If you like offensive football, and I would mention defenses, but neither team really played much, so I can't really do that. So
there was a lot of passing yards, some solid rushing yards as well. So defense was not there at all. Appalachian State, what's his name? Cameron Bryce. What his name is?
Chase Bryce.
Bryce. Yeah. 6 touchdowns, man. 6 touchdowns.
Yeah.
62%.
25 of 38, 360 yards. Another 4.5 yards of carry on the ground. I mean, he played a really good game.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Mac Brown, but he needs to shake up his defense a little bit, man.
And that was what I was about to say, because Appalachian State and then so you would think that the defense would be better, and they weren't. And I'm missing some comments.
You're fading in and out there. So, I mean, I thought Carolina's defense was bad last year, but they didn't start off any better this game. We'll see.
I'm sorry, I'm blank.
You are. I don't know. You're freezing up like every other word almost. So, but
not sure what's going on right now.
Yeah, I mean, you give up 40 points in a quarter, man. I
Um,
mean, that's not even fun watching anymore. That's scary.
yeah, just a lot. I don't think I ever seen that before, Ray.
I've never seen 40 points in one quarter. I never have either. And I know there were some turnovers, there were some things like bad punting. It was a lot of things that played into it, but to score 40 points in a quarter, I mean, that shouldn't happen. So
Yeah, downside to no defensive game. You are completely right. By
that is
halftime, it was
correct.
over. Yeah, it was. It's supposed to be over by halftime.
You would think.
So as fast as we can. We'll just talk about this last game real quick. Oregon versus Oregon versus
Georgia. Well, you know what? Until Jerome gets back on full time, I'm just going to talk about Georgia versus Oregon. Oregon has a lot of work to do, obviously. So, I mean, you lose 49-3 to a team like, and we know Georgia's defense is going to be good, but I mean, Stetson Bennett is not good, but they made him look really good in that game. So,
no, yeah, he was slinging it. I have a question. Did y'all see all of that bad coaching in week one? It typically is like that. I'm not gonna lie, because this is the thing too with college football. There's no preseason, so you have time to test things. You don't really have time to, So there will be some bad coaching, some bad calls, some sloppy play in the beginning of the season. It's almost always like that every year. We just
mm-hmm.
don't realize it because after a while it goes away. So it
Mm-hmm.
is generally like that. Maybe they might have to do like one or two preseason games or something. I don't know, but it's generally like that. So
I mean, what they should do is do what the NFL is doing right now. Have them practice scrimmages
yeah,
where they
I
get
should
two
have started
teams
that.
together. They kind of go out there. Well, Don play, that is music to my ears, man. Bo Nick stinks, okay? Stinks.
Yeah, he's struggling.
Struggling.
He's definitely struggling.
Like, man, we all talk about it. He's athletic. He has a good arm.
Hmm.
He cannot read coverage. That's all there
Yeah,
is. He's not a quarterback.
21 for 37, only 173 yards and 2 interceptions.
You can't not you can if you're pushing the ball downfield and you don't see a corner or safety come in, that happens. You can't throw balls underneath to other players on the other team and expect to win. And he does it every year. I
Yeah.
don't understand what they're thinking. But yeah,
Yeah,
man.
I'm not. I don't want to downplay him 100% because what you saying is completely correct. But this is a Georgia defense that just historically was really good, and I know that they have a lot of good players still on their team. So I don't know if this is more a testament to that or the other. I mean,
No,
yeah.
what you saw was Georgia was really prepared. They took away any deep shots that they might want to take and waited for him to throw something underneath and jump the route. And that's Bo Nix.
Yeah. Don said yes, he does. I'm not sure what you mean by that, but yeah, it was. I mean, I just had to mention this game because, jeez, man, that was crazy. I did like. I thought it was gonna be a little bit competitive. I'm pretty sure. I think both of us said that right. That it's gonna be a little competitive at least. We both had Georgia winning, but jeez, 49-3.
Well, we really weren't sure about all Georgia's offense. Again,
Yeah.
they made Stetson Bennett look like Peyton Manning.
Bennett was slinging it, man. He trying to go in the NFL.
Yeah, so am I.
Oh man, that was crazy. But yeah. All right, let's get to what everybody's waiting for right here. We're gonna get into our prediction ratings, and Ray, I have to say, 2 weeks in a row, your
Yes,
boys in
sir.
the lead. Your boys in the lead. 2 weeks
Yes,
in a
sir.
row. Wow, that's rare. I mean, I'm only up by 4 games. I'm only up for by 4 games, but yeah, man, I'm up. What you guys say about that, right? This is never gonna happen
Um,
again.
yeah, man, you've done a good job picking games, much better than I have for right now. But I just don't think that I've just not done. I've not done well. I mean, then things kind of go like up and down like that. So
Yeah, Don said I can't believe Notre Dame. I think he meant to say Notre Dame. I can't believe Notre Dame. What? And Ohio State was close. Thank you, Don. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don knows how to. I generally don't have good ratings, predictions rather. But yeah, yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was a couple of games where it was one game. Let me look at it real quick. That I thought that it was a good choice by you, honestly. But um, the Army game, the Army and Coastal Carolina game, that was a good game.
what's your game?
That was a good game. So I don't
Yeah,
blame
what's
you
your
on
game?
that one.
Yeah, man.
The
Here's
Boise
the thing.
State game, I see why you picked them, but I didn't see. I
Who?
know I've been watching Oregon closely lately. I didn't think they're gonna lose that game, honestly.
I mean, like Drum. I don't change my formula though.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't
yeah.
get emotional involved. I don't. I go by what the line says to me. Sometimes the lines are wrong. Usually they kind of balance themselves out when it's all said and done.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens. I just don't like, yeah,
Yeah,
man.
that Houston game was definitely a good one. I didn't watch that game at all, Don, but I heard that was a good one as well.
It was a good game.
Did you see the Houston game?
I watched some of it. Yeah, it was a pretty good game.
Nice,
I
nice.
was on call this weekend, so I didn't watch as much as I would have liked to have watched. I was busy.
I
Like
did see most of the Michigan game, obviously, but
I watched a lot of the Michigan game. I watched,
yeah,
of course, the whole Notre Dame game.
correct.
To my dissatisfaction, but I watched the whole
I
Notre
did
Dame
too.
game. The afternoon games kind of messed me up because I was back and forth with work all weekend. So
Yeah, no, I
until
understand.
until the weather breaks and AC season's over, that's going to be the case for me. So
Definitely. All right, let's get into our week 2 predictions, right? So this is week 2. We got a couple of games on here. I will say that I mean, Ray, you can correct me if you want, but I don't think the games are as good this week. But we got a couple of like solid games, I think.
yeah. Well, I think the Iowa State game would probably be a good game. I would have thought Virginia Tech versus Boston College would be a good game, but I'm not sure. Boston College's offensive line is horrible, man. It's horrible, man. Like,
Yeah,
wow. But we'll see.
definitely. Well, let's
We
get to
will
our first
definitely
one.
see.
Yeah, we will see. We will see. Let's get our first game, right? And that will be South Carolina versus Arkansas. Arkansas is at home. They favored by 8. Arkansas is currently ranked 16. South Carolina isn't, but both have winning records right now. So, who you picking in that one?
I'm going with Arkansas.
Yeah, I'm going to Arkansas as well. I still don't trust Rattler. Not a big Rattler guy.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been for a while. Um, so I still got to see more from them. Yeah, they won. They got their win. But I don't know. I like Arkansas a lot. I like how they played last week. I feel like they're gonna be ranked
Yeah, I think Arkansas is a good team.
bad.
I like KJ Jefferson. He's a pretty
Yeah,
athletic kid with a
correct.
nice strong arm. If he ever learns how to develop a little bit of touch on the ball, I think he could actually be a real good player. But right now, he's athletic and he gets the job done, so that's all that matters. So.
Yeah, they got 2 games in the middle. That's gonna be Texas A&M and Bama right after whatever this team this is, Missouri State.
Mm-hmm.
So after this game, they got Missouri State, Texas A&M, and Alabama. So they're going to be good. Still, it's unfortunate they in the SEC, obviously, but um, I watched it. Michigan and quarterback position, Louisville. And
Yeah, you lose to Syracuse by like 3 scores. Yeah, you're pretty bad.
Yeah. And then he also says, sorry guys, freezing up a little bit. Arkansas lost a lot of defense last game. Lost
They did, but they're still a good offensive team, and I think they'll be fine.
internet issues. I don't know what's
Yeah.
going on. All right, I think I'm back now a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's get to our next game. Um, right here you got.
I didn't hear what game you picked, Jerome, to be honest with you. On my page, I have Wake Forest Vanderbilt as the next game. Is that what game you want to pick?
Yeah,
I got Wake
yeah,
Forest. Oh, Wake Forest. I mean, they have a good defense. Vanderbilt is a team that needs some work still. I have Wake Forest winning that game. So
yeah, I am too. The line definitely changed a lot. It's they got Wake Forest favored by 13. I'm gonna go by that as well.
yeah, I mean, I had 8 on Sunday. Now it went up to
Yeah,
13. So that tells me all I need to know. So yeah.
yeah, that was a huge swing. Yeah. All right.
Yep.
Next game we got Appalachian State versus Texas A&M. Ray, that line was actually close. And it's not close anymore.
No, I got Texas A&M. I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna pick Texas A&M anyway.
of course.
We both, but yeah, the lines are moving very fast this week. I'm getting most of these on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
2 days later, they're moving real fast. So,
Yep.
see how Texas A&M. I'm definitely wondering how does this. Don said he liked Appalachian and the interesting.
I don't know what to say about that. I think that Appalachian, well, I am a fan of Appalachian State. They play good football usually. And I'm not saying they won't keep it like closer than 17 or 20, depending on what that line is at right now. But we're picking winners and losers, and they're not going to win the game. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm on that train. Tennessee is favored by 6.5, and they're away.
I'm taking Tennessee in that game.
Really? I think I am. I think I am too.
Okay.
Yeah, we're pretty.
I mean, there's only a couple games that are reasonably close. So until we get to some of them games, we're going to do what we do.
No, yeah. So Iowa versus Iowa State.
I'm taking Iowa in that game. I mean, it's only 3.5. It's 3.5 points, but it's 3.5 points on the road, correct?
Yeah, Iowa's at home.
Yeah, so I'll take Iowa.
Yeah, I'm taking Iowa as well. I'm still not sure about Iowa State yet, honestly.
I agree.
That line is gonna be that close because they're rivals and they usually do play each other pretty well.
Yeah,
but I'm not big on that game.
Yeah, I'm not a. Yeah, I think it'll be a reasonably close game. I'll take Iowa though.
Ray, you can answer this one because we don't have this on our board. Do you like Central Michigan over South Alabama? Central Michigan's favored by 4.5.
I do. I think Central Michigan is a better team. I think South Alabama is an improving team. I would take South Alabama with the points though, to be honest with you.
Okay.
You would.
Nice. He said Iowa's at home. Definitely. All right, let's get to our next one. Houston versus Texas Tech. Texas Tech is favored by 3 at home, so this is a push. Ray, who you got here? Whew, this is a good one.
That is a tougher game to pick, obviously.
No.
Wow. You know what? I don't like to. You know what? I want to take Houston because I like their offense a little bit better. So I'm going to just do that.
I thought you was about to go the other way. Okay. I'm going Texas Tech this time. All right. Simply because I had high hopes for them last year, and I don't think they lost too much, and they look like they are a better team. That is a very hard to pick. This game is a hard pick. Pick pass. Yes, that one's definitely a hard. That one's definitely a hard one. That was definitely a hard one. They're pretty even in talent too, so it's like
They are.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna go Tech. I like Tech. I know. I know them a little bit more as far as their players. But that's definitely a hard one. That's probably the hardest one we probably gonna have to do today, honestly.
I think Fresno State, Oregon State is probably the hardest game we're going to pick this week.
Oh, okay, yeah, true. Well, not for me, but anyway.
Okay.
Illinois versus Virginia. Illinois is favored by 4.5. They are at home. Who you picking?
I'm going to take Illinois in that game. I expect them to bounce back. They didn't play well last week, but I think they'll play better this week. So,
yeah. I'm going the same route, Ray. I'm going to Illinois as well. For the same reasons, I think they'll bounce back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna do the same thing. Let's do Kentucky versus Florida. That's gonna be a good one.
I'm going to take Florida in the game to win. I'm a little scared by the line because Florida is going to be coming off a pretty big win for them.
Yeah,
and I'm going to take Florida. I think Florida is going to be a pretty solid team when it's all said and done. I do.
Yeah, so Florida is favored by 5.5 right now. At least that's what I got. They are home.
Mm-hmm.
This one's definitely a hard one to pick. I'm going toward Florida as well, just because of both teams got good quarterbacks.
They do.
Both teams got good quarterbacks.
They do.
And usually when it's a game this close, I try to look at the quarterbacks first.
I think. Can I believe that Anthony Richardson's going to be that guy? I am becoming more of a believer than I was going into the offseason. I should say I like Anthony Richardson. I think he's a good athlete. I think he's a good quarterback. Again, because I look at a lot of mock drafts and stuff, I don't see him as a first-round talent right now, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I'm kind of stuck on this game, honestly, because in a sense, I think Kentucky's defense can do better than I don't know. Utah defense just made me feel some type of way, honestly, too. So I don't know.
We're not doing Utah right now. I think Utah just needs to clean up their act a little bit and be a little more disciplined. They look like a team that's transitioning to some different players, and they didn't play. They were out of position a lot. So
yeah, and that's the thing. They have a lot more returning players, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I want to take Florida just because they're more like electric right now.
And they played really well in their first game, and they have a guy who's an up and coming quarterback. So yeah, I'll take them.
Exactly. Yeah. Don says Kentucky has no running game without 24 at running back.
That is correct.
Yeah.
Absolutely correct.
No, I agree with that.
I would feel better if
quarterback. And I don't know. That was a hard one for me. I would be mad if I lost this one because I was kind of leaning towards Kentucky today, and now I'm just like. Yeah. So, all right, VTech versus Boston College. Ray, you like these teams?
I'm going to go with Virginia Tech, believe it or not, because I think they're a more athletic team. I think their defense is good. Until I see Boston College offensive line block somebody, I can't believe in that. So
I'm going the same route, Ray, for the same exact reasons. Virginia Tech defense is better than Boston College, I believe. And I just think, like you said, their offensive line is not good.
No.
And I just think that Virginia Tech is they've always been athletic and fast. So I just think they're going to be better. We'll see how that goes. But so far, we're picking same team so far, except for one game.
Yep.
So Baylor versus BYU, right? I'm trying to look for the line on that one.
I have 3.5. I'm taking BYU.
I have uh I have BYU at 3 as well. They're home. This one's pretty much a push. I'm going to go with Baylor. I feel like Baylor's a little bit better, but BYU's quarterback, I like him. I do.
I do too, and I think BYU is a physical front, and I will just go on that. So,
Gotcha. All right. Oregon State versus Fresno. This is definitely a pick. I have it as a pick 'em.
I have it as a pick too.
All right, cool. So, right,
I'm thinking Oregon State.
all right, yeah, we're going on the same side again.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like Oregon State just looked better the other night. They're pretty much what I expected them to be this year, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're just going to build off of that momentum they had from last week. So
I agree.
I do like Fresno State though. Don't get me wrong, but I just think that
I like Fresno State's defense.
Yeah,
You just worry about their offense scoring enough points with BYU's front. I think I told you last week or the week before. I think BYU is a better team than people think they are. I do. So
yeah, no, yeah,
I like their defensive front. So I think they're going to win.
Yeah. All right, Mississippi State versus Arizona. That line definitely swung too, and I was gonna pick Arizona anyway. But
You're playing Arizona?
Yeah.
I'm taking Mississippi State.
Same.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, see, look, I go by the lines too. If they're closer lines, I'll pick it. But like in my mind, I already kind of like this is what I do. I look at the lines on Monday. I'll put it down the ones that are pretty close or an entertaining kind of game that might be good, even though the lines are trash, like the Ohio State Notre Dame game last week.
Yeah.
But then, like, come Wednesday, these lines be going crazy, and I'm just like, what the heck happened? Like, you got like 4 games this week that the line just totally swung the opposite way.
Yep.
Crazy. All right, last one, Ray. We got K-State versus Mizzou. Who are you picking in that one?
I'm taking Kansas State, man. Come on. They're going to score like 50 points in this game.
You think they're going to get 50, Ray?
At least 40.
Wow. I thought you was a Mizzou guy.
I like Missouri's defense usually. Their defense has not showed up this year. And I don't think Kansas State, like we love the running back. I think they're going to really have their way up there. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm going on your side too with this one. But I was just very shocked if you I mean, Kansas State is favored by 7.5, but I was very shocked that you say it's gonna be like 40 points scored. That's interesting.
If honestly I would go even, I would say I definitely would believe it if I believed in Kansas State's quarterback. We'll see. Yeah. But he did play a little bit last year, so we'll see. I do think Kansas State will win the game though, for sure. So
definitely. All right, let's see. Let's go to the comments because we've missed a couple. Don says, "Do y'all like Old Dominion plus 13 over East Carolina?" I think I like that. I think I like it.
I would probably lean that way, but honestly, I don't like betting on bad teams. So,
okay. BYU 2.5. I moved the line.
I would be all over BYU only giving up 2.5 points, to be honest with you.
Okay. Like Oregon State run the ball. Yes, I love that about them. They got a good quarterback. And look, he said it as soon as I said it too.
Yes, I agree with that. I have Oregon State in that game. I think it'll be a decent game because Fresno State's not a horrible team.
Yeah.
But I do think Oregon State will win the game, so we'll see.
I'm going the same way. Arizona best player is a 5'9" wide receiver. Give me Mississippi State.
Agreed. And I mean, Arizona's 5'9" receiver is very good, but yeah, I'll take Mississippi State.
Yeah, same. Can I get one best pick for week 2 from both of y'all, please? Oh man. Okay.
Is that with the line, Don, or not count, or just to win the game? If I am playing, if I'm looking at the line, I would take Arkansas.
Arkansas.
I think they'll beat by 2 scores. I do.
Okay.
I think Arkansas's quarterback is explosive, and again, what quarterback is South Carolina's quarterback? Is he going to play well? Until I see him play well, I can't believe in him. So,
No, I agree.
Rattle gets rattled too much.
For me, there's a couple of games that like I think people are kind of sleeping on, honestly. For instance, the Colorado game. I think Colorado's a better team than they show against Michigan, honestly. So I will look into that. What was the other one I was just looking at? Oklahoma State. I think I would take that.
I also like Tennessee giving up 6.5 to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. No, I like that too. What's the other one I just looking at? And the Washington State versus Wisconsin game. Wisconsin gonna get that 17.
Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, and I'm not just saying that because I think Washington's a bad team. I actually think Washington's a pretty good team, but I think I really look highly of Wisconsin this year, and I'm a Michigan fan, so that's telling you a lot. Mississippi State just to win the game. Yeah.
Yeah, well, if you're just going who's going to win the game, yeah, I mean, I don't like giving up double digits lines to anybody unless it's like Alabama gets some cream puff.
Yeah.
Or Ohio State against Ohio. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, I agree with that, Ray. Definitely. Don says, thank you, fellas, so much. Thank you, Don, for getting on. And
Absolutely.
Thank you for all our viewers that were in here or couldn't comment. Some guys, I know a lot of you, a lot of our fans tell us, hey, I listen to your podcast, but I usually listen in my car. That's perfectly fine. You can't comment when you're in a car, so I do appreciate a little listening, no matter what,
Absolutely.
But hey, if you can't comment while you're in your car, you can go out of your car and watch the replay or pay the comment on a replay when you're on YouTube. So you definitely do that. Go on the YouTube channel, hit that like and subscribe, and hit that notification button so you can know when we're alive as well. That QR code right over there, right next to Ray. There you go, Ray. Yeah. You can scan that and find all our social media on there, man. We got a whole bunch of great stuff. NFL's about to start. We got our NFL podcast tomorrow, which is the Air It Out podcast. These guys will be talking some great NFL stuff. So if you love the NFL, please make sure you go check that out as well.
Can I ask you one question regarding to that game tomorrow? And not really, should Aaron Donald have been suspended for at least 2 games after throwing his helmet in a practice?
Did he hit the guy?
I don't think he did hit anybody, Jerome. I just think that, honestly,
I think it should be a fine at least. I don't think he should be kicked out, honestly, because Miles Garrett, Garrett, who actually made contact with the Steelers quarterback, Mason Rudolph. I believe he only got like 4 games and a huge fine. Okay. I would give Aaron Donald a fine, but like, hey, dude, if you would have connected, you would have got suspended for real.
Jerome, I've heard a lot of different reasons of not why you wouldn't suspend him and all of that, but like, I honestly think in a practice to throw a helmet around like that is way more malicious. In a game, we know we've all played football. In a game, sometimes your emotion gets the best of you. You're supposed to be in a practice.
Yeah, but I heard Aaron Donald has he don't know the difference. I heard that way before this happened. Like Aaron Donald,
if you fine him and suspend him for 2 games, he'll know the difference.
I think you should definitely give him a hefty fine for sure. And be like, dude, you cannot do that. If you would have had somebody, you would have With a
We're
suspension.
talking about a league where they are basically making it flag football almost now.
Yeah.
And then you got a guy waving helmets around in a practice, and you're not doing anything to him.
Yeah.
Yo, my son is a Rams fan.
Yeah.
And that's fine. And I'm not saying that I just don't. I think that if you want to set precedents to show guys how to act like grown men, then don't let them act like children. And it's not like he's a young guy. He's been in the league for a while now.
Right.
I just thought to not suspend him at all was a little bit dumb.
No, you know what it might be, right? Is that people. So this is the thing too. Like the more media get outraged about things, then that's when the league start looking more into things. You get what I'm saying? And this was almost a non-story, like,
the only reason it was a non-story is because it wasn't a real game.
Yeah, I know.
But to me, that almost makes it worse. Why are you losing your cool in a scrimmage practice?
No, I hear you, but I'm just looking in the minds of how I've seen the NFL work lately. It's just that, like, if it's not.
So you're telling me that the people that run the NFL use their minds? When did that start?
Oh man!
I mean, when did we ever start doing that? I thought they just reacted to money and hearsay.
Yeah, I mean, I hear what you're saying, Ray. I'm gonna keep away from that.
I want to see the best players on the field.
No, I agree.
And I don't want Aaron Donald to be suspended and it costs the Rams a game. I don't. But I just think, like, if nothing else, he should absolutely be fined heavy.
Correct. No, and that's what I mean. And give him some kind of punishment, because you can't just let it go scot-free, because now it's like, all right, like,
if he's going to do that in practice, right? If he's going to do that in practice, as Allen Iverson said, practice, what is he going to do when it's really important to him?
Yeah. No, I agree.
I mean, if you want guys to act like professionals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's very unprofessional, man. Very, 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 very.
Don's giving us his NFL lines. I like the Rams 2.5. Bills corners are going to get exposed. Don't sleep on the Bills corners, man. My man Tre'Davious White is coming back.
He's not playing this week, though. He's not playing tomorrow.
He's not?
No, I don't believe so. I think he's going to miss the first 2 games.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get exposed. Hey, I got Cooper Kupp on my fantasy football.
There you go.
That's like music to my ears. Listen. So.
Yeah, again, my wife and my son are both Rams fans. I'll be rooting for them to win the game, and I'm a Dolphins fan, so I will not root for the Bills no matter what. Yeah. But I do think that the Bills have a good shot of winning the game, and
I do too. So
we'll see, man. We'll see what happens.
You know what? And it's funny because I was just talking to somebody about this. Look out for James Cook, man. Look out for James Cook.
I agree with that.
I don't think he's gonna be their starting running back anytime soon, but he's gonna be a weapon for them at the backfield. Trust me.
I do agree with that. I think that he's gonna be good. I think that I agree with that. I just don't know. I mean, it's hard to get a good feeling for week 1. It always is, because both teams usually are ready to play week 1. So
I feel sorry for you. Rams fans are sticking to it. Don't get him started, Don. Please don't get him started.
Well, Don, all right. Well, I want to know what team you're a fan of. If you could put me in that real quick, because I'm waiting for Tua to play good football this year and establish himself as a good solid quarterback. I don't think Tua is going to be a star, but I think he's going to be a good, solid quarterback. I do.
And again, I'm hoping he does well, because I got Tyreek Hill on my team. So
we've gone back. I'm a Saints fan. Okay, well, I'll take him over any quarterback on the Saints team, so that's good.
Ooh. Hey, Don. I hate to say this too. I'm rooting for y'all to do terrible, because we have your first round pick as an Eagles fan. So, just saying. Other than that, I have no problem with the Saints.
Neither do I.
Unless we play on this in the postseason, because I don't know why the Saints always beat us in the postseason. I don't know why, but you just got the Saints killer, Mr. Jalen Hurts. 2-0 against the Saints right now. I just want to put that out there. But anyway, that's gonna do it for us, guys. We just getting into the NFL right now. But thank you guys for checking us out, man. Again, make sure you go check out those social medias. Hit that like and subscribe on YouTube. Make sure you hit that notification bell as well. Don has closing words. Not much. Winston was doing good before injuries. Yeah, he was.
And I like Jameis Winston, but I worry about the fact that he played well under Sean Payton, and I worry about the fact that Sean Payton's not going to be there anymore. So
yeah.
And I'm rooting for Jameis Winston because I do like the kid. I still would take Tua over him though. I would right now.
Definitely.
That's all.
Says, thanks, great conversation. Thank you, Don. And thank you guys for checking us out once again. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe. We'll see you next time. Thanks, you guys. Hope y'all enjoy your football weekend. Hope y'all enjoy week 1 of the NFL because it's gonna be exciting, and our fantasy teams are gonna be fun to look at. We're gonna definitely talk about it in this podcast later. But again, guys, thank y'all so much. See y'all next week, and have a good one. Peace.